Hi there! Welcome back to my garden. Here's a warning. This is another garden tour. I did a garden tour about 5 weeks ago at the very end of March. I meant to do a garden tour at the end of April, but things got a little bit busy. We were here and there and I didn't get to it. And then I wanted to get some things done. So we're going to call it end of April, beginning of May garden tour. And you can see what's happened to my garden in just 5 weeks. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, I'm a no-dig organic gardener in Central Virginia, and this around me is my main garden. I have a couple of other little gardens tucked here and there, but we're just going to take a look at this main lower garden at this point. A lot has happened in 5 weeks. Let me show you around. First, let's take a look at my potatoes growing in this grow bag. These are Yukon Golds, and they are blossoming. And they were planted back in March, around March 14th, I think, and they are going to be ready soon. I love the look of potato blossoms. They're so beautiful. I do have spinosad that I put on these because I like to make that helps with flea beetles and also with any Colorado potato beetle that will show up, which will be showing up at any moment. This is my spinach, and I've got some beautiful Jersey Wakefield cabbages that are starting to head up. This is all under cover. It's got spinach in here and wintered over kale, and I'm about to harvest the rest of all of that because it's going to flower. But the cabbages will continue to grow on. I'm on the western edge now, and this Monarda patch is exploded, and I don't mind that because I like to have the Monarda. The bees love it. It's called Bee Balm for a reason. Over here I have some little pickling cucumbers that I planted. I did a little video on planting my cucumbers and squash. They are coming along, and you can see that this one got eaten by pill bugs or slugs or something, but they just continue to pop another leaf anyway, and they're growing on. So I think they're going to be just fine. This is a pickling cucumber, and this one is a Roseland White. Outside you can't see, but I have planted some nasturtiums around this to serve as a deterrent for bad bugs and an attractor for the good ones. This is my tomato row. I planted about 2 weeks ago, and they are growing really, really, really well. You can see that when I first put them in, the flea beetles came right after them. But I'm going to be pulling this, now that this plant is up, I'm going to be pulling this one off, and I will pull them off as we go. Now this is getting a sucker. This is a sucker right here, and I am going to go ahead and pop that off because I just want one main stem coming up, or two. I might allow a second one a little bit later. So these are growing well. Let's see, this is a Drusba and Kellogg breakfast, all sorts of things. This is a mortgage lifter and a Cherokee purple going strong. Japanese Trifeld, and I think I have a, what is this one? A Jubilee here. That's a yellow tomato. I'm going to pull that, but I have to come back in and work on these a little bit more. Along with my tomatoes, I have basil planted, I have marigolds, and I also plant calendula nearby. Here are some bunching onions, a few little peas coming up. These are snow peas, I think. Earlier this week, I planted my sauce patch. I just posted a video on that on the 6th of May. In my grow bags, I have some leeks, and I have some carrots, and some purple Majesty potatoes. I also have potatoes. Now look what's happened to these leeks. See this? This is the onion fly that has laid its larva in here, and they have been eating away and killing these plants. Now you can see they've all curled up. They haven't quite gotten to this one yet, and this one's okay, and this one and this one. I have put down some 7 dust on these to hopefully kill them, and some of them they might recover. We'll just see. If not, I'll pull them. Over here we have some lovely carrots. These are some of the Shen Karotas, new ones for me, a Japanese variety, as well as some of the Danvers that I have planted back there. I haven't decided what I'm going to do in this part of the bed, although some volunteer potatoes came up and decided for me. So maybe I'll just go ahead and plant some more potatoes in there and call that a potato bed for this year. I don't love planting my potatoes in ground these days because I tend to get voles that come in and get them. But I might give it a try just one more year and see what happens. Well, these grow bag leeks are doing great. The ones over here also got hit by the onion fly. So I guess it doesn't matter whether they're in ground or in grow bags, it seems to be a problem. I have another row of indeterminate tomatoes down here on the southern periphery. The south side is a great place to grow tomatoes because they get full sun all the time, and they really do love that. So I have more of the same kinds of things, the Homestead, the Mortgage Lifters, just a combination, Mountaineer's Pride, Old Virginia, Kellogg Breakfast. Here's my lemon balm that I've been beating back. I'll continue to beat back. Over in this area, I have some determinate tomatoes. So these will come in a little bit earlier and give us some tomatoes to eat. Then I'll be pulling those plants. I think I might put some beans in the rest of that bed. Turning around and looking at the east side, I have my trellises over there. Ultimately, soon I'll be planting some melons in there, and underneath it I've got Swiss chard and peas and some lettuce growing. Of course, the lettuce is going to be done pretty soon in the heat. But the Swiss chard I'm going to keep in there all summer because I think it's going to enjoy the shade of the melon plants. Swinging around, you can see the inside of my new beautiful gate that Sage made. We opened up this arch on the inside because now we have a gate on the outside, and I think it just gives a much more spacious, interesting look. And I'll be able to easily water and get my wheelbarrow in that lower gate. Something I haven't been able to do for the last years. When we go outside, I'll show you the cool outside of it. But it's made with grapevines and found wood from the forest. Here is my sweet pepper row. I have a whole bunch of sweet peppers in because I love my peppers. And just like the tomatoes, I interplant basil and marigolds along the edge there. That'll tumble into the center of the aisle. Here is the 1,000-head kale that has gone to flower, and the bees have been loving it. And right next to it are the new ones that were planted this spring. Actually, I planted them indoors in winter and then moved them out, and they're doing just fine. This is what I found some slugs on last night when I came out after the rain, and I have put down slug bait today because I really don't want those slugs eating my kale. No, no, no. You can eat these, and you can eat the flowers too. I'm still waiting for more cucumbers to come up. I have one here, and I might pop a couple more seeds in there because I don't know whether those are going to germinate or not. The other ones should have germinated by now. I have peas growing up here, lots of dill and lots of chamomile. Over here I have some of my cherry tomatoes growing. I have little sweeties, and I have purple bumblebees, and I have some of the orange sunburst growing along this northern edge. And under the brassica tent, it's a little hard to see right now, but I have some beautiful blue, dazzling blue kale. I have the radishes finishing up. These are bush beans that were planted about a little more than a week ago, and they're doing great. They're all pretty much 100% germination on these. These are contender on this side, and this side are the maxibels. The contenders will come in first, and the maxibels after about 50 days, and the maxibels after about 60. And up here, you see my mess, pardon my mess. Back in the back, I have a row of Dean's purple pole beans. I love them. I didn't get my hands on the seeds last year, but I got this year, and I'm really happy because it has awesome germination, and it's going to be a wonderful crop. I have some more Swiss chard and some radishes, and this is my poor pathetic pea crop. But take a look at this. These are my fava beans. They have been blooming, and I'm just really hoping that they will set beans. We'll see. We shall see what happens. I've never grown them before. I do really enjoy this time of year in the garden because it's just, you can feel it about ready to really pop. It's not so bleak, just a bunch of mulch here. But within a couple weeks, I'll probably do another video at the end of May or in a couple weeks, and you'll be amazed at what is happening in the garden by that time. It always just hits me so hard how life just bursts forth in the garden. Want to take a look outside? Come with me. This whole area behind me and around me, which is almost the same size as my interior garden, is what I call my exterior garden because it is not fenced. And that is something I'm really thinking about doing, but I want to really incorporate my orchard, my little mini orchard, into that fencing, which then gets into a whole different logistical plan and financial level that I'm not sure I really want to do right now. Mainly my issues are deer. Of course, I have groundhogs, rabbits, foxes, bears, coyotes, fisher cats, everything. And raccoons and you name it. So you can't keep everything out, but mainly I'd like to keep the deer out of the orchard, particularly because I have some fruit trees that I'm really trying to get going back here, and some blueberries and things like that. So back here I have my fruit area, and I have some perennial flowers as well as a few other things. So I'll let you see what's happening. Last week we did we found a great sale on apple trees, and we put in 2 new apple trees. Now I have a total of 5 apple trees, 2 pawpaws, 1 plum, and we will see what happens. Now 2 of my apple trees do have apples on them this year, so just a few. And I want to keep it that way, which is another reason I want to keep the deer out. The deer got my apples last year, not happy. This is my Williams Pride apple, and the taller one that's kind of leaning is my black twig. I'm sort of excited about the black twig because those are the apples that used to be here in the old days. It's an old Virginia variety. And I have this is a Liberty down here. And I have another black twig that I grafted myself. These little guys right here are the pawpaw trees that made it through, and look, this one's got actually a blossom on it, so that's kind of exciting. There are 2 different varieties. You have to have 2 different varieties and 2 pawpaw trees in order to get some fruit. So I'm hoping that so you can kind of see the distance. If we're talking about fencing in all of this, we're talking about a pretty big area. It has to be big enough so that we can do the mowing. There are pros and cons. I mean, I have these fenced in with these fencing, but the deer can reach right over and get any fruit they want. Here's a little apple. See? That's kind of exciting. This tree got hit kind of hard by the frost, the late frost. Now I'm on the southwestern corner of my garden, and you can see a whole bunch of things. This is the new bed that we made this fall, and I put some artichokes in here, a few dahlias, one that's died overnight, I see, and some lemongrass here. See how the lemongrass does. I've not grown lemongrass before, so I'm going to plant it in different places. I've not yet planted up the archway. I'm still planting. It's only early May. It seems odd because we had some early heat, and April felt like late May much of the time, and so that's kind of a false summer. These are my Ruth Stout potatoes, and look at these lovely lupins. They made it through the winter, and they're back. They're blooming nicely now. So beautiful. I have artichokes planted in here, loads and loads and loads of bee balm, monarda, some lemon balm, some Mexican tarragon, echinacea. Up outside the fence here is my hot pepper area. I haven't got them all planted, but these got planted just a few days ago. And I'll intermix flowers. These are some phlox and some sweet williams. Some onions here. Big stand of monarda and oregano. I like to grow smelly things on the outside of my garden to deter critters. Swinging around here, you see my blueberry area, my blackberries in the distance. The lavender made it through the cold winter and is starting to come back. I should have trimmed it. I didn't. I'll try to do better this year. Here's some garlics. I'm so glad that we were able to mulch this entire area, which I don't know whether we had finished that when I did my last tour or not. I'll have to check. But it was a big decision. I decided to go ahead and do it. It requires a lot of cardboard. I have a huge supply of mulch, so that was no big deal. But it means that I need to continue to do mulching every single year so I can keep the weeds and grass under control. But I think it's just going to make it so much easier to care for these plants. I will ultimately probably have some pumpkins growing through here, and I don't have to then fight grass to get at them, and I think it's just going to be better all around. The blackberries are going strong. You can see that they're about to blossom. These are the ones that I relocated. I got to get in here and actually tie them up so they have a little bit more breathing room and so they get secured. Like this one I want to tie up to the top here. So some of the blueberries got hit by the late frost, but this guy right here, I think this is a Duke or either a Legacy, and it has nice berry set on it. So I'm going to have to cover these to keep the birds away and the Japanese beetles, but we should get some nice berries off of that shrubbery. A few on this one as well. This little guy, I was only going to have just a very, very, very few. It was blooming and blossoming right when that 27 degrees hit. Okay, so I've put all of my eggplants in grow bags this year and to keep them off of the ground. Here are the new blueberry bushes that we planted in late March, I think, just right before I did the last tour. Here's something interesting. These are called Clipdaga. They are otherwise known as lion's ear, and they grow very tall. They're a subtropical plant. They will not winter over here, but they get these blossoms along the stem and as the plant grows. So they're kind of cool that way, aren't they? This is the hops arch, the new one. I put this up about a month ago. I transplanted the hops from the other side of the garden, from the east end arch, because they were getting crowded with other things. And I think they're going to be a lot happier here. And so now I really have the whole garden exterior framed out by archways. And the archways actually can help deter deer as well. If I fence it though, I'm going to need to put gates in front of the archway. Speaking of gates, let me show you the gate as it is right now that Sage made me. I think it's very cool. It has this cool rustic look to it. It's made out of grapevine and found wood. We are going to actually put some stepping stone paths here in the front and through to make it a little easier to open the gate and keep it tidy. But you can kind of see that it looks a little bit like it's got some eyes on there and nests tucked in. I think it's a very, very fun project, and I like it. I like that rustic look. This is going to have squash growing up it. On the outside here, we've got more garlic growing down there and a row of eggplants in bags. These are 4 little finger eggplants and then 1 Black Beauty. So we're now swinging around to the east side of the garden. I should have a vine coming up here that was very vigorous the last 3 years, and that would be the passion flower vine. Hasn't appeared yet, but it tends to appear a little bit later. I have loads of lemon balm. I'm fine for it being out here, and I got some nice sage and a big stand of oregano. So this is a nice spot that kind of keeps critters away. I'm very happy that the milkweed is back very robustly. I'm hoping I can just get some milkweed to grow out in this area. I've transplanted a few little black-eyed Susans that I started indoors, and we'll see how they do. This is my rose alley. It's got loads of buds on it, so hopefully it'll start blooming soon. It goes all the way up. These obviously are the older ones going into the newer ones. This exterior is going to have loads of flowers growing up it, a couple of tomatoes mixed in, but mainly flowers and herbs. And I'll be planting this ginger very soon. I have not grown ginger before. So here's my newest rose. This is a pink one. So here we go. Echinacea and daisies. Ooh, look at those nice little radishes. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and pick one of those. That looks like lunch to me. So I do believe I'll go in there, pick a little bit of that kale that's going to flower, pick a couple more radishes, make a salad for lunch. Thank you so much for watching today and taking a tour with me. If you love garden tours, I'll do one once or twice a month during the growing season, and you can see how my garden is progressing and compare it to yours. If you have any ideas or suggestions about things I should grow or should be doing, please drop them in the comments below. If you have not yet subscribed, please do, and throw a like down. and mostly comment. I love, love interacting with my followers. This is a small channel, it's sort of a hobby, and I have really, as I've retired now from teaching for many, many years, and it's really nice to be in contact with so many nice garden people from all over the place. Again, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.